Hey, Roger. Jim Trotter, NFL Media. You and other league officials have said that the league's commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion extend beyond the sidelines and beyond the front offices and is applied to all aspects of the company. I've worked at NFL Media for 5 years. During those 5 years, we have never had a black person in senior management in our newsroom. That's a problem because we cover a league who, according to league data, the player population is 60 to 70% black, which means that there is no one who looks like these players at the table when decisions are being made about how they are covered. More concerning is that for a year plus now, we have never had a full-time black employee on the news desk, which again is a problem because we cover a league whose player population is 60 to 70% black according to league data. I asked you about these things last year, and what you told me is that the league had fallen short and you were going to review all of your policies and practices to try and improve this. And yet a year later, nothing has changed. You know, James Baldwin once said that I can't believe what you say because I see what you do. And so I would ask you as an employee, when are we in the newsroom going to have a black person in senior management, and when will we have a full-time black employee on the news desk?
All right, guys, so I want to respond to this clip that really annoys the hell out of me, okay? This type of stuff, this type of race-baiting nonsense in this country has to stop, okay? And the main reason why is because, one, is divisive, but two, it's just extremely hypocritical coming from the left anytime they want to have this conversation about so-called diversity, equity, and inclusion, because we know that they don't actually really mean real diversity when they talk about diversity. What they actually really mean is less white. Like, for example, I did a video earlier today about woke mayor Eric Adams, the mayor of New York City, basically celebrating the leadership of the city being mostly black, right? Not having many white people that are running the city. He celebrated that, talking about have you ever seen this much chocolate before? Okay, and comparing himself to Jesus for hiring so-called people of color to run the city. Okay, so that room was full of people, a lot of whom not white, right? I don't think there were any white people in the room. And this is the type of stuff that he was saying. If he was a white man, it would look like a Klan rally. That's what the mainstream liberal media would be saying. Okay, if you had a Republican white mayor in a room full of white people talking about how great it is to have so much vanilla running the city, yeah, they would be saying that's a Klan rally. Okay, this is what they be saying. Okay, they say you need more diversity, equity, and inclusion, right? But again, they don't say that when you have mostly black people that are employed by a company, or mostly a room full of black people, mostly black people running something. When there's less white people, oh yeah, well, again, that's celebrated as diverse, despite the fact that by definition it's not diverse, okay? So that being said, that brings me to this clip of this woke NFL reporter. I'm not sure exactly who this guy is, but what I do know is that this video was posted by Jim Trotter, I guess, who's an NFL reporter. Okay, he reports on the NFL. He works for The Athletic. And I'm assuming that, he has an issue with the NFL and the fact that they have 0 full-time black employees in their news desk. Okay, so he has a problem with this. Okay, in fact, he says the NFL newsroom has 0 black managers, 0 black copy editors, and 0 full-time black employees on the news desk. So again, he has a problem with this. So he reposted this clip of another woke reporter pressing Roger Goodell on this issue, right? An issue that would not be an issue, again, if the NFL had a newsroom full of black folks and no white people. Nobody will ever be asking the question of whether or not it's a problem, but only because it's mostly white, now all of a sudden it's a problem. So I want to react to it because, again, I think this just exposes the hypocrisy of a lot of these people when it comes to this conversation. So without further ado, let's get into it.
So look, I know I'm out of Kansas City. I've had dreams of maybe working for the NFL Network one day, but
I'm sorry.
When I say I'm out of Kansas City, so I've had dreams of working for the NFL Network one day, but be that as it may, I know that you don't run the NFL media newsroom, but you do run the NFL, and they answer to you along with the 32 owners. As of this press conference, the NFL media newsroom still employs 0 black managers, 0 black copy editors, 0 full-time black employees on the news desk, and your only full-time black employee, Larry Campbell, passed away over the weekend. Now, Mr. Trotter, Jim Trotter, was not here, for whatever reason. Over the last few years, have asked you why that is the case. And for a league that has more than 60% African Americans that play the game, and I know that you're a man of conscience, how does knowing this sit well with you, and after 2 years of being asked this question, why has it not been any change or any hirings in that area?
Well, I disagree completely with you. There hasn't been any change. I'm happy to get your data and share it with our people and make sure that we get an answer for you. I don't have all the data. I will tell you that the first time ever, 51% of our employees across the league, across the network, across all of our media platforms, not including players, are either people of color or women. First time ever. So progress is being made, and there are areas where we still need to work and still need to improve, whether it's offensive assistants or maybe people in our media newsroom. We will continue to do that and make significant progress as we have.
Yeah, so they accused Roger Goodell of basically facilitating racism. Now, I'm not a fan of Roger Goodell, okay? I think the NFL is woke, okay? But apparently the woke revolutionaries don't think the NFL is woke enough, okay? I mean, they're playing the Black national anthem at the Super Bowl, I believe, right? That's about as woke as it gets. A league that is quite literally trying to destroy the fabric of this country in regards to our customs and traditions. Yeah, that's about as woke as you can be. But apparently they need to be even more woke. It's like I told you guys, these woke reporters will not stop until the NFL is a mostly black league. Like, they want black people to actually run and take over the league, right? This is what they want, okay? They're not going to stop asking these questions until a vast majority of the owners are black, until the commissioner is black, until everybody working at the front office is black. All the players are already black. They want the head coaches to all be black. They want the assistant coaches to be black. They want everybody to be black, okay? And they're not going to stop having this stupid race conversation until the whole damn league is black, okay? This is what they want. You would think that, I don't know, maybe these people, since they want the whole league to be black, instead of trying to force white people, right, to give up their positions of power or to guilt them out of their positions of power, maybe they just quit and start their own league, right? Just quit, start your own league, and call it the Negro League, right? I mean, that's probably what you should do, because that seems like that's what you want, right? But we all know these people, they wouldn't be able to do that because they're not nearly as organized or smart enough to do that. So this guy, in his comment section, he responded to one of his comments by saying that newsrooms are supposed to be reflective of the communities they cover as best as possible. The NFL player population is majority black. If the league felt it were important to have diverse decision makers, it easily could create a positions, but it has not. So again, what this guy is asking for is not only for the NFL to hire based off race, okay, which is supposed to be illegal, right? It's supposed to be illegal to do that. He wants the NFL to hire based off race to the point where the newsroom is reflective of the population that it covers, aka the NFL players. So I posed a question to this guy. I highly doubt that I'll get an answer, but I would love to get an answer from him. The population of the United States is majority white, so why shouldn't NFL rosters reflect that? Right? Because if that's the logic that we are applying in this situation, that, well, the newsroom is supposed to reflect the population. I told you guys they love this argument, right? When there are a ton of white people, when you have an organization that is mostly white, let's say 70, 80, 90%, right? If there are more white people than the population, what they say is that, well, we need to have the amount of diversity reflect the population as a whole. But that only applies when they're trying to have less white people in organizations that are 70, 80, 90% white. That's what that applies. But when you talk about the NFL, though, and the fact that the league is 60, 70% black, okay, and whites are the minority, and that's not reflective of the population as a whole, nobody ever has a conversation about why isn't there more white players, okay? It never applies. People look at you like you're stupid. for you to say that, hey, you know, maybe NFL rosters should be reflective of the population. The reason why people will look at you like you're stupid is because everybody will automatically understand that, well, that doesn't align with meritocracy. When we're talking about sports, we want the best athletes to get the job, to be on the field playing, right? That's the point. It's meritocracy. But all of a sudden, when you're talking about a front office position or a white collar job or a job that doesn't have anything to do with sports, now all of a sudden, meritocracy goes out the window. It must be reflective of the population. Again, the hypocrisy here is stunning. I'm trying to figure out, why is it that in corporate positions where you have 70, 80, 90% white people working, why is it that it must reflect the population as an excuse to make the organization less white? But when it comes to sports, when it comes to the NBA, when it comes to the NFL, where you have mostly black folks that are making millions of dollars playing the sport, why all of a sudden they don't want to have that population argument anymore? Well, the reason why is because that means that you have a league that is 60% white. And of course, the woke revolutionaries don't want that, right? They don't want that. And that's why I say that all of this is nothing but a scam. It is a scam. It is a hustle in order to try to guilt the white people in charge to give up their position of power to black people. That's all it is. It's just a power grab. Doesn't have anything to do with any consistent ideology or consistent principles. It's simply just, you're too white. You're too white. That's it, right? You're too white. We're going to make up any excuse we can to try to guilt you out of your job, out of your position of power, even if it doesn't make any sense, right? Because this makes absolutely zero sense. I'm trying to figure out, why is it that the NFL players shouldn't be reflective of the fan base? Okay, the demographics of the fan base. I'm pretty sure mostly white people watching the NFL. Why shouldn't the league be mostly white? Because this guy just said that, well, most of the NFL player population is black, so therefore the newsrooms that cover the NFL players, they should be black too. Again, I'm trying to figure out, where is it legitimate to apply this argument and where is it not legitimate, right? What is the ideological consistency or principles here? Well, there are none, right? There are none. It's simply just, well, we use it when it's convenient for us, when we can have an excuse to try to, you know, get our way in regards to making, leagues or corporations or governments less white, right? It's all about the race agenda. And it's sickening. It's sickening. It really is. I'm sick and tired of it. I wish that Roger Goodell, I wish that these people in power would just tell these woke reporters to kick rocks. Kiss my ass, right? I wish that's what they would say, okay? Just say, hey, look, we hired the best people and they just happen to be white. I'm sorry. It is what it is, right? If you want me to diversify the newsroom, we can do that. But we also need to diversify the NFL players as well, too, and have more white players come into the league, right? We need more white quarterbacks, more white running backs, okay? We need more white wide receivers. Yeah, let's do that. Since you guys are all about diversity, equity, and inclusion. But I guarantee you they wouldn't agree with that. They wouldn't agree with that. It's amazing. The hypocrisy is stunning. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.